All right, baby. Today is Tuesday. It's November 19th. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports. Snake Draft Tuesday on Zoom. We are joined by Clem and Rico Bosco. Clash of the Titans, part 2?
3, I think.
Three? Oh, okay.
Who won the first two?
Me.
Not sure. Think Clem.
I don't know if that's true. You always say me. If someone asks who won, you just say yourself.
Yeah, I think I won. Yeah, like honestly, we were talking about from this weekend. We did like this keg bowling thing. I don't know if I beat Dave. I'm pretty sure I didn't, but I keep saying I did because I thought I did.
You didn't.
I thought me and Lance thought we did. Thought I did.
If you don't count, the gutter ball is what throws it all.
Oh, if you don't count the first throw?
Yeah. Well, they were that was the rules, though. They said if you throw a gutter ball, you get an extra throw.
Yeah, I don't make the rules. I do not make.
So if
Chief, I don't make.
Ed, you know what? You can have the pins and the keg throw. You can have it. It's yours.
Oh, that's so patronizing.
I don't care. He's the one that gets his dick hard on this stuff, so I'm fine with it. I'll take it. Thank you, Dave. Rico, what's up, dude?
What's going on? Excited. I also need my prep sheet. Fuck.
I do have to say one thing before the show starts as well.
Go ahead.
I have finally visited the island of Staten.
Yes.
Last week.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
It wasn't with Rico. It was with Security Dan. I've always wanted to go to Staten Island because to me that's like that's real New York in a sense.
You went to Staten Island, Rico?
I texted
flying.
Yeah, he was flying. He wasn't in town, so I went to Security Dan. Security Dan took me to this restaurant.
It's almost like going to DJ's without him.
Yeah, kinda. It's true. But Security Dan he's a good representation of the island, right?
He's a real good representation of the island.
He took me to this place, Angelina's Ristorante. It's on South. It's very south. Oh my God, these people were fantastic people. Just great Italians, I should say.
What kind of Italian food? Like a big sit-down dinner?
Oh yeah, big sit. What they did, this bocce thing. It was a bocce league he brought me to.
Stunning.
They just moved tables off the carpet and they just put down a strip and they had bocce ball courts in the restaurant.
Damn.
That's awesome. And they couldn't have rolled out the red carpet more so thank you to Angelina's. Great
What'd you
people
get?
over there. Dude, they set up a fine white tablecloth dining thing right on the bocce ball court for me. It was like, It was wild, but I just wanted to say that. So shout out to the people on the island. Great people. I asked them, I said, why does everyone give you so much shit? And they're like, it's just not much to do around here besides get dinner.
That's true.
Yeah, so I just had to get that off the chest. It has nothing to do with the draft, but the draft is 90s childhood shows. We have done Nickelodeon. I think it was draft number 3.
I was going to say it had to have been so
draft number 3. There was only 4 of us, so there was no guests, and it was only strictly Nickelodeon. So it's a little different. So we're going to open it all up. Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I think I took Hey Dude, and everybody made fun of me for it.
No, you know what you did take?
What?
I looked at the graphic. You took Clarissa Explains It All.
Yeah. I mean, was it
I
round
watched that
5?
show.
I thought it was fine. I had sisters. What do you want from me?
I had sisters too. That's not.
You were the youngest. Everything was catered to you, pampered to
That
you.
is
I was
true.
stuck in the middle.
That's not a top 20 Nickelodeon show though. That's crazy.
I would say so.
What?
In terms of like 90s popularity, definitely top 20.
Is it a top 20 for a fucking dude? No, it's not. No way.
Well, I took it in the. Yeah, I don't know. I went through
round.
I went through the list. There just wasn't a lot. I don't pander. I've only taken shows that I've seen. So not to go back to 5 years ago when we did this, but I took a show that I had seen.
All right.
Sue me.
What are you having for lunch, Rico?
Taco Bell. I'm still waiting. I just got my prep sheet. This guy's on a bicycle that hasn't moved in an hour.
Oh, dude, the bike. You see a bicyclist for your delivery.
What if he got hit by a car and that's why the little graphic thing's not moving? You're gonna feel bad, I bet.
I guess.
I think we'll just get into the rules and everything because Chief asked me about a certain sitcom. If that count, I think live does count, but that's one thing. Kind of like the TV draft we did last week. We have done that before.
Yeah.
I better hope live better count. I have a ton of live shows.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. It's just 90s. We're thinking 90s.
Yeah.
Shows you watched as a kid.
Correct. Yeah. So with all that said, Rico, Lance is the number 1 through 5 behind his back. What number is it?
3.
No.
Clem.
2.
2. Yep.
I always win this fucking thing, and I never want the number one pick. Number one pick just comes with such fucking. Everyone gets so up and tight. I can make a good pick, but if it went number one, if instead of number two, everyone loses their mind. So I'm gonna go 3. Give me in the middle of the draft. This is a deep draft, and it's a lot of shit. I feel
so deep. 1 through 4, Chief.
4.
Correct. 4.
I will go 5th.
Oof. Here comes Clarissa.
No Nickelodeon shows, so we're
No,
good.
you are.
No,
you can
you
use
can.
it.
Ah, all right.
1 through 3, Dave.
2.
No.
1.
1.
I'm gonna go second. 1 or 2, Rico.
1.
1 again.
All right, you want 1 or 4?
Number one pick.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Yeah, I'll take the number one pick.
Oh, there he is. All right, so the order is Rico, Eddie, Clem, White Sox, Dave, Chief, the 90s childhood shows. Draft is underway. Before it is, though, we have to talk about game time. The Winter Classic is coming up at Wrigley on New Year's Eve, and we can't wait to get out there. Plus, right now, hockey fans can save on tickets with a Game Time exclusive 25% off when using Zone Deals with Game Time. This deal is only available until December 2nd, so fire up the Game Time app and get your Winter Classic tickets now. With Game Time's Zone Deals, you choose your zone and Game Time chooses your specific seats, and you get peace of mind with Game Time's lowest price guarantee. Plus, if it's your first time buying with Game Time, you can enter code DOGWALK for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. There's nothing like seeing a Winter Classic live. Get 25% off with Zone Deals on Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. We all love Game Time here. You just used it this weekend, right?
I just used it last night, Dad.
Did you?
Notre Dame.
There you
And
go.
I will be using it again in about a month for a Notre Dame home playoff game.
There you go. What time is it? Game Time. Go check them out. All right, here we go. The 90s childhood TV show draft underway. Rico, lead us off.
All right, I think you know where I'm going. I think this TV show set the course for the rest of all TV shows. The laugh track, the funny situations, the main character that you can get behind. Take it, Saved by the Bell.
The most obvious Rico 1-1 pick of all time.
It was.
Yep.
I started writing it as soon as he was saying that.
I
But I
started
think
writing it.
a ton of kids watched it. I think it's up there for a first round draft pick.
Oh, I watched it. It's high on my board.
It was one of those things that I was like, if I take this, I'm going to have to get in front of Rico, and I would have felt shitty because I consider Rico a friend outside of work, and things could get awkward between us.
You
down
could have
the road.
taken it.
I wouldn't have wanted to, though, but it's like, it's a good pick. So it's like, so I think you getting it 1-1 sets the tone, belongs on your board more than anyone else's.
Yep.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy I didn't have to take it. I'm sure the fellas are the same way. So, and you can always talk about it. I feel like Saved by the Bell. This is the other thing. This is a generational draft.
Yeah.
And even though we're all 90s kids, there is like a divide where like I can remember some early 90s shows. I imagine Eddie may not remember those shows or was even like, watching TV during them. And I do think there is going to be a divide. Saved by the Bell skews a little early, I think, but it does go. But like it was like think about Barstool, the blog back in the day. We were talking Kelly Kapowski and all this stuff all the time. You put that shit out now and it is crickets. People, the youngins might not.
Yeah, I have no idea.
All you got to do is pull up that picture, though, when they get it.
Yeah.
That's one of those things where it's like you see pictures of ladies like back in the day, like, oh, man, women, like, the hairstyles and everything was kind of funky. But you see that, it's like, no,
it hits.
that age, but it did not
Yeah.
age poorly.
No, she's still one of the all-time goats, Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Yeah, I will say, so you're right. It came out in 1989. I kind of miss Saved by the Bell.
I watched it in syndication. I don't remember watching it live. I watched it in syndication. It was on all the time, though.
Yeah, for sure.
It was on like TBS in the mornings before
Yeah.
school. Like,
It's funny you say that, Chief, because the other day I was like, man, like, is Saved by the Bell still on TBS? And I looked it up, and it's been off for like 15 years. I'm like, oh, I felt the oldest that I've ever felt at that.
But
moment.
more amazingly, it's still on television here and there.
Really?
There's one network around here that runs it, MeTV, on Saturday mornings. They'll give you a full.
that's what they used to do back in the 90s, too. They give you a full hour in syndication, back-to-back episodes.
Yep. So it's still on TV, and it's completely outdated. You know what I mean? So it's crazy.
Now, it shocked me. I just looked it up. Only 4 seasons.
Yeah, that's
86
crazy.
episodes.
That's crazy.
That's
I didn't watch it, and
Yeah.
that still seems crazy to me.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
then they
5 seasons, really. I know
the
that
college
says 4.
years, right?
It was 5.
Do they count the summer house, the beach house ones?
Yeah, it was broken up into 5.
Okay.
You're not counting Miss Bliss, are you? The Miss Bliss season?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that stunned me. But
A lot of these shows are like that, I think.
yeah.
That were going to be taken. I never watched it. I obviously know all about it considering its popularity, but I never got into it.
Yeah, same. But I respect the pick.
Yeah, you got to.
All right, I'm up. This is a tough one where it's like, do you pick iconic ones that you liked or ones that you just liked more that aren't as iconic?
You should pick the ones that you liked more.
No, but I think there's a balance. I think there's a balance in these.
Are you about to do a miracle here?
No, I watched all these shows, but like,
I think he's about to do a miracle.
I'm not going to do
I
a
think
miracle.
he's about to do a miracle.
No, I'm
Okay. All
quite
right.
the opposite.
Miracle Ed.
I'm about to
Miracle
take I'm about to take a show that, well, not my. Am I going to do it or not? Because it's not my favorite, but you can't argue that it absolutely fucking dominated the 90s.
Let's hear it.
I would just don't take it then, Ed. Don't take it.
But yeah, I guess I don't have. I guess I could take it later because I know nobody's drafting it. Yeah, I'll just take my favorite then. I'm gonna take Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Okay.
Great pick.
Yeah.
I hated that show.
Why?
He was afraid of
He
the
was
dark.
Always
Afraid of the
scared of
dark.
it. I don't
Yeah.
do scary movies. I was terrified of it.
That opening montage was perfect. The little piggy bank leprechaun
Yep.
or whatever. The swing.
This is
movement.
terrifying.
Ooh.
Okay. I actually didn't even like that.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Brought me back.
still
I
watch-
keep thinking of the X-Files theme in my head, but which I know is incorrect. Do 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 do.
No.
What, that's X-Files.
That
What's-
is X-Files.
I love that. I love this show.
Fucking awesome.
It was great. It's such a good show. I would still watch. I would love to flip it on now just to see if it holds up at all.
Should we just start a show, The Midnight Society? Like same thing, just get around a campfire and we could just tell stories and just
That's
it.
called Dead Poets Society.
Yeah.
They did a movie with Robin Williams about it.
This is I'm Midnight Society.
Midnight Society, but you just like watch old shitty shows from the 90s.
Yeah, from
Yeah, we'll just tell scary stories. Like, you know,
Get a flashlight.
yeah, Rico will tell us about his flat tire on the island, like, you know, like just random stuff.
Yeah, we had a little bit of that at camp. I feel like no.
Yeah, but not spooky. Next year at camp, we might have to run some spooky stories.
Okay.
I got some good ones.
I liked it because I was a pussy about scary stuff, and I was a little older when this show came out, so it's like I could watch it, not be scared to death, but feel like I got like, you know, you got that little scare into you. So I liked it because it wasn't too scary for, you know, someone who's a little older.
For an
but it's still-
adult.
yeah, got the juices flowing a little bit, Chief.
Do you guys remember any specific episodes?
Oh, yeah.
I remember one where it was like this gremlin had a Polaroid camera, and anytime you take a picture, if you were in the picture, then you would die or whatever. And then they figured out the way to kill him was to put a mirror in front of him, so he's taking a picture of himself.
What?
Genius.
Are you sure that wasn't a
Pretty
different
sure that
show?
was Are You Afraid of the Dark?
I think that might be a
I
different
think
show.
it might be the other one.
I think it might be the other one.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, so shame on you.
Shame on you.
Damn.
Shame on
Oh,
you.
wow.
I don't know what other one you're talking about.
I mean, it's pretty clear what the other one is.
The other one, it was like
Not
it was.
Nickelodeon, right?
And it may get drafted, so we're not going to.
I don't even know what channel it was on, but I remember like the intro probably better than Are You Afraid of the Dark because it was I thought creepier.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. All right, Clem.
Clem, you're up.
All right, so this one, I mean, this is my favorite show. It's the most iconic show of the 90s by far. I thought Ed was going to choose it. That's why I tried to talk him out of it. But the way he kind of like backpedaled on it, thinking it wasn't going to get picked, I'm thinking maybe it wasn't it. But it's The Simpsons. It was the show of my childhood, and it's the greatest show of all time if we're talking 90s shows. 2000 Simpsons, 2010s, 2020s, whenever that goddamn show ends, I do not stand for. 90s Simpsons, I'm cool with.
Well, the libs got their dirty, grubby hands on it. Clem.
Yeah,
right.
I would say I will still. It's one of those shows that I will never watch it live again. But there have been times where for whatever reason, I seem to be hungover when I do this. But I'll flip on Disney Plus and go to like a season 4 of The Simpsons.
Yeah.
And just let a few episodes run, and they always hit. They always hit. It is an awesome show. The writing was fantastic. The characters were offensive, and but it didn't matter. It was great. It was a great show. It was going to be my first choice. So good pick.
Question. I'm not going to make the argument.
You think it's not a kid show?
I
absolutely watched it when I was a kid.
I get that.
That's the thing.
I get that.
Right.
But is it a kid show?
I think it's.
I don't know if it's a kid show.
So
I think the only reason it's still on is because it's a kid show.
I would say that when I watched it, I remember watching, and I would remember certain episodes when I was like 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. And then I took probably a 20-year hiatus from The Simpsons. And I rewatched those episodes, and there were jokes in there that like definitely a kid would never understand. But I still loved it, even though I was missing 90% of the jokes. So I think it's written for both, is my point. It's enjoyable for kids and adults.
I get that, but that's my thing, and it's also at the point where it's still on. Like, is it still a fucking 90s show? Yeah, that's when the heyday was. That's when the best seasons were. I'm just bringing things
didn't
up.
Even start in the 90s.
Well, neither did Saved by the Bell.
No, I know. I wouldn't argue it's a 90s show, even if it was a month or two it started. But I did not have this on my list. I think it's outside the spirit of the draft.
I agree. But with that said, I'm not going
to
veto it, but I do agree with Dave.
No, I'm not going to veto because that's the argument. This was my childhood, this exact show.
But like, we all know your favorite animated show as well. Right. That's not a kid show.
No,
either,
it's not. Definitely not.
I wasn't allowed to watch it as a kid.
Yeah. Any thoughts on this?
I mean, there were families that didn't let their kids watch The Simpsons.
Actually, fuck it. I'm going to veto The Simpsons.
You know what? I'm vetoing it too. That's
it's gone.
Fuck.
It's gone. It's on a kid's show.
I don't think that's a kid show.
You don't even get the minority vetoes?
It's always been one veto and a
two.
second. That's how we have always done it. So let the record show that I was not vetoing this, Clem.
Same. I wasn't vetoing it either.
Do you notice how I did it first, Chief?
First time for everything, I guess.
Wow. Pat me on the fucking back, pal.
Episode 150 of this draft or whatever it is. 200. I don't know how many we've had. Ed initiated veto for the first time.
Dave, pat me on the back, you dodo. All right, Clem, repick.
That's fine. I mean, I could understand where you're coming from with it. I can't wait for everyone write your responses to Eddie when you don't see Simpsons on the graphic. This fucking draft sucks, you cocksuckers. No Simpsons. That was my childhood. At this point, I don't even honestly care. They're all pretty fucking awesome in their own right. I think some of them will come back to me. Like, I didn't even put these in order because they're so, I don't know if you guys are the same. It's like 9-8, 9-8, 9-8, 9-7. Like, everything's just so good. I'll kind of go with that. I'll go some that might be a little lower on people's boards, but it's my favorite game show of all time. It's Double Dare.
Ooh, I was not thinking game shows at all. Double Dare is awesome.
Duh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you fucking veto this, Ed, we're gonna have like a legitimate problem.
No.
This
I'm
is perfect.
Totally fine with it.
This is perfect.
Totally fine with Double Dare. It was on Nick.
Yeah.
Just because it was live and this is a perfect pick, I think.
Mark,
I don't know that I would have gone at third overall, but I love that show.
it might be a little high for Double Dare.
I don't know. Double Dare is great.
You throw that picture of the giant nose, that's just gonna tingle. That sits right up there with Are You Afraid of the Dark and The Burnt Match and anything else. God bless this, R.I.P. The Simpsons. But like, it was so much fun because as a kid you could play. As an adult, if it is somehow on your TV, you can still play. And I, to this day, say it has the greatest final round in terms of that obstacle course. Sometimes it would be right down to the razor margin, right to the end. Sometimes they would crush it. Sometimes they would get stuck again, picking the nose or looking through the sandwich. The prizes are always fun. They made space camp seem like the coolest thing on the planet, even though it's probably just a bunch of nerds going there. Sometimes 100%. You get a Nintendo in the mix. You see the old dad try to like slide down a slide. He shouldn't be going down. And Mark Summers was a fucking goat at hosting that thing. So Double Dare is my pick. And I wish it would come back to this day. I want to have a Barstool Double Dare day where we all just fucking play it, do the physical challenges, all that kind
physical
of stuff.
Challenge.
That's on at noon every day, dude. It's called the Yak.
That's true.
Yeah. This is another show that you swear it ran for 20 years. It was 3 seasons.
Yeah, right?
So
I've probably seen every episode too.
Probably.
Over
Yeah.
as a kid.
No,
I remember Mark Summers almost died once. Kid pushed him in the pool while he was holding a microphone. He had to throw the microphone out.
Oh my god.
He was getting electrocuted or something.
Bad.
Yep, he was
Did
about
we
to
interview him?
We did.
did.
We had him on
Sirius.
Sirius back in the day.
I thought it was a good interview too.
Yeah.
That I
really enjoyed him. We talked Double Dare. We talked Unwrapped. It was fun.
They do a tour too. He like does it like I don't think he does it, but they do a tour where like they'll go to a thing, they'll do some real life, and adults can play Double Dare. And my wife and I went. It was awesome.
Oh, that's sick.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah.
482 episodes, started in 86, ended in 93. And then they did 67 more for a reboot in 2000. I guess they brought it back in 2018-19. So definitely like always kind of kept popping up. All right. White Sox, Dave, you're up.
I'm going to stick with Nickelodeon. I'm going to stick with live action. I'm going with Guts.
Damn.
The Aggro Crag, fucking sweet. I watched that show and I'm like, I swore to God I could beat every single one of those dinks that they had on it. That was also when I was in my most athletic peak when I was 10, 11 years old. I love that show. It was like that. Aggro Crag is one of the coolest trophies in sports.
It absolutely is. So when Clem was saying the final for Double Dare is the best ever, I was like, no, it's not. Absolutely not. The Aggro
Get up
Crag,
there and you hit that button.
Yeah,
and all the smoke
confetti and
goes
the
out.
smoke.
Yeah, that's got to be such an unbelievable. Like that would be winning the Super Bowl for a 8-year-old or 10-year-old or whatever.
Yeah. Some of those challenges too, like
They're actually
through
hard.
the wave pool. Like,
Yeah.
they look like.
If you get in the water, you are screwed.
It was like American Gladiators for kids.
Yeah.
I would love to do that as a 10-year-old. That's got to be every 10-year-old's dream. And that show was awesome. Glad I got it.
We interviewed Mike, what's his last name? O'Malley. We interviewed him on Podfathers once, and he was an awesome interview. Just great guy.
Yeah.
He was down. He was it was like around COVID, so we didn't know what the fuck was gonna happen. But he was gonna try to get us hooked up with the Guts people and do something Barstool related, and then he just forgot about it because life was in a fucking weird land at that point. But the hosts from Nickelodeon, they nailed the hosts for basically all their game shows.
Yeah.
Summer Sanders, yeah, they did.
Yeah, big time.
Shout out to Mo as well.
Mo. Hey, Mo.
Crazy accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Guts was great. Chief, you're up.
Well, I would have gone Guts. I think it's the actual best show from the early 90s. I'm going with the Wonder Years. So Wonder Years, it started in like the late 80s, but definitely wrapped up in the 90s. It's on Hulu now. You can watch it now streaming. It is a perfect little sitcom television show, period piece. Great characters, lovable characters. Everybody has knows a dad if their dad isn't exactly like him. So I'm taking the Wonder Years and thrilled to have it. No Wonder Years, people?
Nope.
I absolutely love it. I forgot it. I didn't have it on my board, so I feel like an absolute idiot. I just rewatched it recently. To me, it's a top 10 show of all time.
Yeah.
I saw Rico's face when you said it, Chief, and I was like, "Oh, Rico didn't have it on his board because you quote fucking Kevin all the time." I feel
it's an unbelievable show. The Vietnam episode.
I think that's the first episode.
No,
with the brother,
a few Vietnam ones. Then Worm comes back from Vietnam at the homecoming game.
Yeah.
There's a lot. It's an unbelievable show. I'll tell this story. I think Eddie has heard it before. When the finale aired, my dad said he was so upset that they don't end up together. He threatened his fantasy league that he would not make any more trades as a fucking
protest.
Protest. Yeah, he left the voice answering machine, and they would leave like trivia questions, and you could leave. It was like a long trivia thing, and the guy has since died that ran the first voicemail or the answering machine, but a telemarketer called and got that and would then wrote down the number and would call every day because he had restaurant recommendations on there. Like, it was unbelievable. That was how they did the league answering machine. And you left your transactions. And my dad then took over the voicemail and left it on there and was like, I will not make any trades in this league ever again because of Kevin and Winnie not being together.
Done.
I'm telling you, when you get each story about Rico's parents or dad in particular, a little bit more about him, the puzzle of Rico comes together much, much clearer about the man we have today.
I want to say this about the one. Well, also Rico, I tweeted at you the Wonder Years theme song the day you left for however long I was when you were leaving Barstool. Because Rico, there was the time Rico was going through a rough patch, and he would just send me Wonder Years clips like once a week about his thoughts on life, for real, right?
It's an unbelievable show. I just rewatched it recently. It really, really holds up.
Have you guys watched
it? And there's there's episodes that you didn't expect to come. Like, it's really, really good.
I haven't seen every episode, but I've seen a bunch. I will say too about the Wonder Years. Like there's a lot of famous jackets, you know, the green jacket.
That Jets jacket.
Yes, the green jacket, the jacket from fucking Sopranos.
Yeah.
That Jets jacket is just as iconic.
All time.
Yes.
All time.
How
like
come
that and the Fonz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I was a Jets fan, I would definitely have that.
100%.
Yes. So, I also it kind of just skipped me too because I really thought more childhood shows, which I'm not saying it's not, but you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you feel the same way?
I never watched it. I remember one episode, and it's when they were in the treehouse looking down the girl's tits.
Nice.
That's all I remember.
Yeah. It's a big like coming of age childhood
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
It's an unbelievable show.
It's great.
There's an episode where it's something with Paul and the dodgeball. And I remember there's a moment where I've never laughed harder in my life to that point in my life. And it's at the end of that episode. So it holds water in my book. For sure.
Maybe a top 3 voiceover show too.
It's
Daniel Stern brings the heat.
Yeah.
He does
I
it
always forget.
he's got a great narrator voice.
Yeah, I always
He
forget.
did it
it's him.
uncredited.
Oh, did he? I didn't know that.
Yep.
But yeah, everyone knows it's him. Chief, before you make your next pick, I want to talk about Beard Guyz. Step up your beard game and unleash your beast with Beard Guyz. Hair on your face is different from hair on your body. Specific products are needed. Beard Guyz is products that wash, hydrate, and help to style your beard. Start your day off right with the 2-in-1 Wash and Tame, a wash and conditioner combo that is meant to cleanse and condition your beard. It's citrus scent. Everybody loves citrus scent. Hydrate the beard with some beard oil and the beard oil helps soften and moisturize the beard and skin. Lock that beard in place and style it with some matte styling clay. This product has kaolin clay, and it can help keep that beard in place. Like I said, it can be used for your hair as well, which is great. Whether you're a seasoned vet or a rookie beginning the bearded journey, Beard Guyz is the brand for your beard. Dave, beard looks great today.
Mm-hmm. Thanks to Beard Guyz.
Yeah, thanks to Beard Guyz.
Mm-hmm.
You can find Beard Guyz at your local Walmart and Walgreens and step up your beard game. They are definitely the spot to do that. So next time you go to Walmart or Walgreens, go down that aisle and go grab some of this stuff. All right, Chief, you're up again.
All right, so I was not thinking live action games for whatever reason as I was making my list. I definitely want to have one on my board. I think there's a clear top 3. There's only one left. I'm taking Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Awesome game.
I thought he was going to pull a Chief and take Nick Arcade.
I think he actually drafted that.
I might have.
He actually might have, yeah.
I don't think Nick Arcade was bad, but it's not.
It was a good show, but it's not the top 3.
Correct. The top 3 are Double Dare, Guts, and Legends of the Hidden Temple. There's a reason why, like, you know, Purple Monkeys, Blue Barracudas, like you still see them out in Halloween as costumes. You still know some of those names. I'm sure it's another show that only lasted like 24 episodes, but they're all just burned into our brain forever.
3 seasons.
Exactly.
3 seasons.
12 a pop.
120 episodes.
120, that's
Oh, damn.
So what, like
Absurd.
40 episodes a
40,
season.
yeah,
40,
40,
Took Christmas and Easter off, and that was about it.
Can I just talk strategy for that show that always bothered me?
Sure.
Why, when they have 2 people going, they would, if you had 3 full tokens, you know how like you would have 3 tokens? They'd give the guy 1.5, and they give the other person 1.5, and then they would send the idiot through after he got nailed. Like he would use all his tokens, and they would send the other idiot through, and he'd have to start all the way over again and go.
Right.
Why not just send the first person with all 3 tokens?
Great point, Rico.
bunch of idiots,
Yeah.
Rico.
I think that the show. I think the show obviously told the kid. I didn't expect the kids to figure that out, but even as a little kid, I figured it out. I was like, just send them all, and if you keep getting nailed by the guards, you just keep giving tokens, but you at least have your progress, and it's over.
That's a good point. That's like Eberflus would definitely split up the tokens.
Yeah, he would have. He would have. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd love to send like one of the temple guards in like Dave's guest bedroom, just like scare him.
Yeah. And it would work too. Yeah. I was all shit faced in college one night, like my junior year, at my buddy's house, and it was late. It was like 2 or 3 in the morning. We were the last ones up, and this came on at Nick at Night, or we had it on TV for some reason, and I'm like, yeah, I was on that show. I was the Orange Iguana. And it was a complete and total lie. I didn't plan on keeping it going even. And he believed me, and I never told him it was a lie. It was, and I'm pretty sure to this day he thinks I was on that show.
All right.
I hope this doesn't get to him.
You guys never paid attention to any of the history part of that show, right?
Probably not.
Like, you know, you got to answer questions. I didn't pay any attention to that.
It was like the Olmecs. Yeah.
Yeah, Like all of that, I was just like, that was when I would go take a piss, and I'd be like, "Come, be like, are we back in the action yet, or what?" Like,
I was probably paying attention to that.
All right, Dave, you're up.
I'm gonna go with the first cartoon off the board. I'm going with Rugrats. It's the power hitting cartoon of the 1990s for Nickelodeon. I loved it. I watched it. I was right about to grow out of it when the movie came out. And I did see the movie. I liked the movie. It's Rugrats. It's great. The epitome of the 1990s.
Did you see they're making a live action Rugrats?
Are they? They'll probably butcher it.
Like animatronics, like is the Lion King, or are they using real babies?
I don't know, but I don't know why it's needed. I don't know why it's necessary, but they are making it.
People are just out of ideas. They're like, what can we do that has brand ID that's cheap, that we could probably do on the cheap and get some people to watch? Mm-hmm. That's probably all it is.
Yeah,
come up with something new. TV.
Is anybody anti-Rugrats?
No.
it's iconic.
Yep. Great show.
It's one of those shows that I remember like watching it, and I think I've watched a few times where it's like there's a few jokes that definitely play to the adults. And I think you'll occasionally see like someone will post something on Twitter where it's like, oh shit, I didn't pick that up when I was a kid watching it. But yeah, it was awesome as a kid. It's awesome as you grow up. I will say this. I think Angelica might be the most
She's evil
character in television history.
We should do a draft of biggest cunts. She might go 1-1.
1-1.
Do your kids, were they into it? Rico? Or either, or Clem rather?
No.
They probably don't even know about it. They might have liked it, but it's probably like the animation probably looks so fucking archaic to them. It'd be like us watching the Flintstones or something, which were good back in the day.
I did watch it.
They'd be like, all right, I'm going to watch my iPad now. See it.
Dude, Flintstones and Jetsons and those shows, like, I thought they were still good as a kid.
I watched the Jetsons a little bit.
You didn't like them?
They were okay.
Popeye?
They're okay. But Nickelodeon just kind of steamrolled them for me. So many iconic characters. Phil and Lil.
Yeah.
Kid's name was Tommy fucking Pickles. Chucky Finster.
And his dad, they're just...
Angelica. I honestly think cookie sales soared through the roof because of Rugrats.
Probably.
Like,
it had a great, not even an Angelica the villain, but you had Reptar.
Reptar was a lead.
Reptar was good.
Yeah, Reptar was good. Everyone loves a Reptar. It was great. Spike.
Yeah.
Spike was the man. Yeah, Rugrats is great.
Rugrats is
I
great.
like Cynthia too. I like Cynthia. She kept Angelica in her fucking place.
Yeah,
I
you're right.
appreciated Cynthia.
That's true.
It's a good point, Clem. It's a very good point. Clem, you're up again.
All right. So this one, I don't know where this stands with the group, but as someone that lived through like the early 90s, I feel like Full House was like the show on TV for kids. And I have to almost take it here. I think it was like my favorite show when it was on. Thing is, by the end of it, I kind of like matured out of it. And I think like it goes a little off the rails like the last season or so, but it was so fucking good. They have Fuller House. My daughter watched all of Full House, and now her and my wife are watching Fuller House together. So it's very cool to see like the generations, like you just talked about, Dave, how, seeing that through their eyes. And she loved both shows. This new one seems like it's a little too like mature, I think, for like what Full House was. Full House, you always learn something good. Danny Tanner, fucking all-American dad, R.I.P. Bob Saget, who seemed to be the opposite in real life in terms of his humor, at least. You had the cool uncle with Jesse, you had the fucking goofball with Joey, and then like the three daughters were all just different in their own right. Fucking Aunt Becky was like all of our like first
rocket ship.
Absolute rocket ship.
Bro, listen, I don't think the sisters are all phenomenal, but I will say that the Fuller House, when I saw the trailers and I've seen different episodes like once or twice, like just scanning through, what it's about when they did the flashback of the dad and this and that or whatever. Bro, maybe it's mature because there's a lot of fucking cleavage on that show.
It's a lot. And there's some like stories that are going on. I'm like, whoa, Sienna just turned 10. And I'm like, I don't know if I want her learning about this shit.
Yeah, they're everywhere. Those girls are everywhere. They matured quick.
Gibbler was an all-time goofy next door neighbor too. I forgot about Gibbler.
Who was like the bad girl that she was friends with for a minute too?
Gia.
Yeah. She was a bad girl.
And then there was one, oh God, I had the name on the tip of my tongue. The girl that Kathy Kathy Santoro or Kathy Santino was the friend that always was referenced, and she was always able to do stuff, and DJ wasn't allowed to do it.
It's like her version of Bob Sacamano from
Yeah,
Seinfeld.
The same thing, Chief.
Kathy Santoro or Kathy Santori or something like that was an all-timer. Stephanie was insufferable on that show. She was the perfect
sucked.
middle child, but she was insufferable.
How rude.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Full House was great.
Yep.
I was
It
stunned
was
by
like
the fact
it
that
was
like
appointment television in my house. Like it was always on TGIF, and it was like we watched it as a family, and then we went to bed.
it came out. Well, it didn't come out like last week, but I saw it last week. I know there was like a story. They never called him Uncle Joey.
Someone, yeah, I feel like we talked about that.
That
Somewhere.
blew my mind.
Yeah, it's
That was on the
my
Yak,
mind.
I think. Brandon
Mandela
was talking
effect.
about- yeah.
yeah.
That's big time Mandela effect.
The architecture of the house there needs to be a deep dive into.
Yeah, right.
I always want. I've tweeted about it in the past. See if Lance can like pull it up or whatever. But like the bedrooms upstairs are weird. The garage, the basement, and the garage downstairs are weird. There's a lot of weird.
It's a little
things going on.
backyard. Yeah.
Like, I don't know where Joey lives.
Yeah.
And I went to the house in San Francisco, and it does not stand out at all. It's very
No.
just whatever, you know? But in the show, I always was like, I love that house. I want that house. Probably because it was like the biggest house ever that made no fucking sense if you actually like laid it out. I think the Seinfeld apartment,
Dude,
there's some shit like that doesn't add up.
The kitchen in the like living room in that house, they had like 40-foot ceilings. They went on forever.
How's San Francisco looking now, huh, Dave? Not too good.
Not
too
good.
Can't raise a family of 3 girls out there now. With this fucking
Gavin
economy.
Newsom's
2 kids
fucking
in the attic.
America.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And I would say that Joey and Uncle Jesse often had spotty income streams themselves. So kind of had
Screaming.
5 dependents underneath that house.
Man, Danny was carrying the whole fucking
He was.
squad on his back like Greg Jennings, and he was a morning host though,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Wake
Oh, man,
up San Francisco.
Wake up.
Okay, to me, I would bet that the 4 of you were too old for this one, but it was a fucking great cartoon, man. Recess.
Oh, you motherfucker!
Were you gonna take it?
I might have an empty bowl, folks.
Recess rule. TJ Detweiler, Randall, Tommy Smokes. Just so many great characters. Mikey, Gus. Did you watch Recess?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I know what you're
Great
talking
show.
about. I feel like my younger siblings watched it.
Oh, dude.
Great
Recess
show.
was
I was a
awesome.
little like on the older end. It started in '97, so I was like 10. But then my younger brother, my dad, is still obsessed with it. Like it's unbelievable. It's a great show.
Yeah. You've never heard of Recess?
I don't think I have. I really
I've
don't think I
definitely
have.
heard of it.
Have you heard of it, Clem?
I've never seen the show, but I know the characters. I know the Randall's the little weasel-looking motherfucker.
Yes.
I don't know if like I have younger siblings, they might have watched it, but I don't remember ever seeing it. This was one though, like when my board, I'd only had like 20 things on my board. I'm like, when the recesses get picked, that'll make this where I don't have a blank board like Rico when it's all said and done.
Yeah. No,
I might have a blank board.
Recess was awesome, man. Just like a real, like just the premise of everything, how the literally the recess portion, King Bob, he was like the king of the playground, and the Ashleys.
And they were good kids. They were never like trying to fuck each other over.
Exactly. I would have thought there'd be
Yep.
more. Only 65 episodes. They made a movie that was pretty good. Recess School's
Yep.
Out. I remember seeing that in theaters when I was a kid for like a birthday party or something.
What's the premise of it? Is it just they just show the kids out at recess and that's it?
Yeah,
Or
that's it.
No, they show them outside of school and stuff, but it is like it's just like a kid's show. They show it was primarily set at school with the kids at recess. Yes.
Fuck. I had an idea, probably like 10, 20 years ago where I was like, I would love to do a sitcom, but it's just at the lunch table where it's like a group of high school kids and you don't leave the lunch table, but you get, because you can like learn an entire person's life just sitting at the lunch table and just what goes on. This was in cartoon form at recess like 10 years earlier. Like it's great. Fuck. All right.
I kind of like that idea as a premise for a show. You could almost
Well-
like, if you play it like that 70s show where the camera is always like kind of panning
Yes.
around to the next. I like it.
I'm
Well, if
happy.
anyone
you-
talented out there wants to do it, just put me on as an executive producer. That's good enough for me.
All right, I'm happy you could at least vouch for it, Rico. The people will know though.
Good show.
An elite show, maybe the best non-Nickelodeon
What was it
cartoon
on?
of all time. It was on
ABC.
well, yeah, it was on ABC.
Okay.
One Saturday morning.
Big time one Saturday morning
Okay.
show. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at these characters. If you would have asked me what TV show this is from, I would have no fucking clue.
That's wild to me because you're only 2 years older than me.
This is like, I feel like because of our hockey schedule, I never saw like Saturday morning shows. So I was always.
I could see that. I don't. I weirdly.
Prime time.
Yeah, I vividly remember going to like ice skating lessons and then watching it after.
Oh, really?
Or before, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Rico, you're up again.
All right, I got a double, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna go early again. Like this started probably in the '80s, but then looped into the '90s. It moved when I watched this live. I went to a live like event. My mom has like video footage of us at an event. There was nothing bigger than the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as a kid. Nothing. So I was a big Turtles kid. Loved it. Went to drag my wife to go see the movie in like 2014, the new movie, just because I was a big Turtles guy. Like nothing bigger than Turtles. And then I think you need to have a cartoon. I think you need to have a Saturday morning show, and I think you need to have a Friday night show. And
Well, hold
nothing.
on. Are you about to take your next pick? Let's dissect the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
All right,
for a
yeah.
second here.
I also loved the Ninja Turtles, but I never really cared about the TV show, the cartoon.
I was big into the cartoon. We had them on VHS. I remember specifically being
Green
like,
tapes, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or orange.
I'm kind of with you, Dave.
No,
Like to me, I more the Turtles video games were
Turtle video game.
I love that.
I would play that for hours right now if I could.
that was
Like the arcade.
The arcade game.
Yeah, but I had it on Nintendo as well. It was like the same game, but on Nintendo.
you know what, I stand corrected. I actually do remember the villains for some reason more. Like that's
The Brain.
yeah, the brain. Like
The Brain Shredder is obviously a classic.
Yep.
Yeah, but that I was a Ninja
Rocky,
Turtle.
Bebop and
Rocksteady. Yup.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, the villains are for some reason
Oh
hold more of my brain power for
Yeah.
at this point. But like, I agree. I just don't remember a ton of turtle dialogue.
I remember vividly having chicken pox and being quarantined up in like the upstairs like guest bedroom or whatever it was, and just staying up there, and just my mom wheeled in a little TV and I just watched Ninja Turtles for like a week straight.
Are chickenpox still a thing?
I think you just get vaccinated for it now.
Yeah, I think they're called.
They're about to be again.
Yeah.
We're gonna have them back.
Yeah.
They're coming back. Baby.
Good.
Natural immunity. I'm
Yeah.
fine.
I had chickenpox.
Yeah. But
Everybody had
it was
chicken pox.
It was great. It was a great show, great pick. I was going to pick it. I was a Ninja Turtle 3 years in a row for Halloween as a kid. Love the Ninja Turtle.
Bro, my mom used to make the crazy, like, intricate ones. I was Casey Jones for Halloween.
Wow.
My brother was Rat King.
Damn.
I loved Rat King. Such
Yeah.
a good fucking villain. I referenced him in like a blog every month back in the day when I first started at Barstool. The Rat King always plays. Chief, what Ninja Turtle were you for Halloween?
The only one I wasn't was Donatello.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Eddie, I know you said you don't remember that much about the Ninja Turtles. I mean, the theme song is like an all-timer. It's a 10 out of 10.
Definitely.
So the toys were huge, which I think
Huge.
probably the show. I think the show is that the one where like one of the ones where they made the show just to sell the toys. Like the Toys That Made Us is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
We talk about it all the time here on Netflix. And AJ watches Ninja Turtles now, the new ones. They've like rebooted a bunch of times, and I happened to be watching yesterday. They had the Ninja Turtles from the 90s multiverse and met his Ninja Turtles, and they were like kind of throwing jokes around. I guess our Ninja Turtles never actually used their weapons to like hurt people, so they were busting their chops about that. But I mean, if you didn't love Ninja Turtles, get the fuck up. Like, stop listening to the podcast, throw your phone into the river, and reassess your life.
Yeah, it
'cause
was-
they were fucking awesome.
It was one or the other, Clem. They either made the toys and they're like, hey, we need a storyline for these guys. Can you write a comic? Or they wrote the comic and then they're like, hey, we need some toys. Like, it was one or the other. But
Yep.
you're right. There's a story that I watched that, the same thing.
Dude, I used to launch those Ninja Turtle action figures out my window, like the second floor. I used to try to like make little parachutes and just like set them doing like all sorts of shit, and then I have to like rummage around and find them in the bushes. Like the Ninja Turtles
was good stuff.
was awesome.
Have you guys watched the new movie that came out last year?
No.
I don't know when. So Seth Rogen was in charge of it. It is dynamite. It's great for
Really?
the kids,
Ah,
but it hits with us too. It's
Okay.
all like the soundtrack is all old school hip hop, and it's like legitimately funny. Like there's a lot of like known actors, like Paul Rudd's in it, Jackie
Okay.
Chan is Splinter. There's like a lot of voices, I said Seth Rogen, and it is like legitimately like I could watch it just by myself if I'm bored. So I definitely recommend it to anyone out there. I think it's called Mutant Mayhem, Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, and they're coming out with a sequel in a couple years.
Rico, before you make your next pick, though, I want to talk about Factor. Notice how the days are shorter, but your to-do lists aren't. Power through your busy days with Factor's no prep, no mess meals. From breakfast to dinner and anything in between, Factor's easy, nutritious options to keep you fueled and feeling your best. Whether you like a routine or you enjoy mixing things up, Factor is you covered with 35 different delicious meals every week and over 60,000 additional convenience options you can add to your box like keto cookies, pressed juices, and smoothies. Factor lets you do you. Choose from 6 menu preferences to help you manage calories, maximize protein intake, avoid meat, or simply eat well balanced. Because Factor meals are chef prepared and dietitian approved, you're going to love not only how Factor's meals taste, but also how they support your goals. Find guilt-free comfort foods like home-style chicken and gravy and loaded mashed potato, pork chops, feel-good vegan options like sweet potato and chickpea curry, and globally inspired flavors like Peruvian shrimp and red pepper cauli grits. Head to factormeals.com/dogwalk50 and use code dogwalk50 to get 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month. That's code dogwalk50 at factormeals.com/dogwalk50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. All right, Rico, you're up again.
All right, yeah, like I said, I think you need a Friday night spot because TGIF was huge. Full House is a great pick. I also think Boy Meets World holds up just as well.
Yep,
Great show.
it was.
It was like I would think it came out around the same time. I was like around the same age as Corey to a degree. No, I shouldn't say that. I think maybe,
I
but
feel
whatever.
like that too. He was a very relatable character at that age, for sure.
Yeah, trying to think of when it came out. Because
I'll
they
look
might-
it up.
You might be all right, Rick. It might be like a year or two older than you, but it started early. I mean, they grew up
says
on screen, you know?
Started in 1993, so yeah, I would say by the time
Oh, so he was older. No, he was
Yeah.
Definitely older. In '93, I was 6.
yeah, I was 7,
Yeah,
but I still I feel like I remember him like having crushes on girls and me being in like 4th grade and being like, oh,
Yeah.
you know. So it ran until 2000. So
Did a great
Right.
job with the ancillary characters in that movie.
Yep.
Or in that show, sorry.
definitely, Sean, the brother, Eric,
yeah,
like
like
Topanga.
Yeah, the show kind of takes a dip when Eric turns into a complete buffoon, though.
Yeah.
yeah,
He was because in the early seasons, that's what it was about. Like
he was a
when I think of
cooler
this
older
show,
brother.
Yeah, I don't think about college when they're they bring it's ridiculous storylines and Corey Corey. There's not one thing about sports in the later years.
True.
Like they went away from its core, but early on when they're in 6th, 7th, 8th grade, even a little into high school, like Mr. Turner's Feeney's a good teacher. They're pals, and then Corey just like loses his balls somewhere along the show, and it drops. But yeah, it was and
Topanga
someone
got
becomes a
him.
weirdo. But it was good. It's really had a really good run early on.
Yeah.
like really good.
Good family, I feel, right? Good parents, I feel like in that. I
Yeah.
got into it early, but once it became, I think, what it became, I was out on it by that point. So I didn't really, wasn't into it by the time I think it blew up. But I feel like the mom and dad would be like a mom and dad you'd want to raise you,
Yeah.
basically.
All time great nerd, Minkus.
Yeah, like the side
Yeah.
character, Mr.
Yeah.
Feeney. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many good side ones. So yeah, good one.
Good pick.
Back to me. I'm gonna take another one that you guys probably aged out of, but whatever. It's a Titan. I'm taking Arthur.
Yeah, it was. Again, it's a
Never
show
watched it.
I know the memes.
The memes are hilarious.
The memes are great, but I was just a little bit too old for it. What year did that
I
start?
watched it a little bit.
I refuse to because my initials are DW.
DW.
People would call me DW, and I would hate it. And then I would beat the shit out of them at recess, and then I'd get in trouble. And I've had a grudge against Arthur my entire life.
Yeah, DW, Dora Winifred. The books were great. Yeah, I don't know, Buster Baxter, Binky. Like, there's It's a good show.
Binky's a good name. What would Binky do?
Binky, was he the bully?
I don't
think
know.
He might have been was he the bully, Rico?
I don't know. I don't remember that name.
You don't remember Binky?
No, I don't remember Binky.
I think Binky was the bully. Yeah. I think. I don't know. Yeah, sorry.
That was a double feature, that and Wishbone.
Yeah, you're right. Dude, you're right. I forgot about Wishbone. It also just ended like a couple years ago. So it went from
Really?
it went from 96 to 22.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Arthur was a
it had
dynasty.
a long run.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. That's a good way to put it. It was a dynasty.
PBS, man. PBS
Yeah.
will run that shit to the ground.
Yeah, 25 seasons, 253 episodes. It was a dynasty. Arthur the Aardvark. It is the third longest running animated series in the U.S. behind South Park and The Simpsons. Yeah, so, yeah. I guess if you know, you know. Arthur is a great kid show, and it defines the 90s too.
Mm-hmm.
Clem.
Just looking at the board here, what's going to be there, what's not going to be there. You know what? I'm going to go with it just because it was unlike anything I had seen at the time.
Oh, no.
And pretty much unlike anything I've seen since. I don't know if I'm thinking this, if you're thinking the same thing, Rico. Ren and Stimpy was just fucking chaos back in the day. But it's one of those things that if I rewatched it now, I'd still get probably the same belly laughs, and I probably again understand even more. It was a little bit of crazy humor, gross humor, and you know they would they would make fun of a lot of stuff that, you know, shows like that on Nickelodeon weren't making fun of, but it was ahead of its time, I'd say. So I'll go Ren and Stimpy here.
It's one of the only shows my parents have been like, "Yo, should we be letting him watch this?"
Yeah, I remember I was not allowed to watch it.
Same.
Yeah.
They didn't give a shit that I did watch it, but I remember them verbally questioning if we should be letting our son watch this show.
Yeah, like I guess I wasn't like a rule.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like when it was on, it's like turn that off.
It was
right,
too
no,
crazy. For
that
me.
was the
We never
reaction.
watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too crazy for me. Too much going on.
It was like, yeah, so I would be like, should I be watching this? Should my parents be telling me not to watch it, basically? Yeah. And I don't think they even knew, because they figured Nickelodeon, it's fine. But
right.
I think I was banned from Married with Children, which I didn't understand what was going on in that show. But like, I think Beavis and Butthead, they ended up banning me at some point for. And then like South Park is the same kind of thing, where it's like you could have gotten banned. I was older at that point, but those are 3 shows. This was like the introduction. This was like the gateway show to like, you're banned from watching this because it's not good for you.
How many episodes would you guess?
30.
85, 30. Anybody else?
Yeah, like 90.
I'll say 60.
52.
Okay.
52.
Yeah. That feels like a small flame for I would have thought it'd be more.
Yeah.
I didn't like the way that they talked either.
No, I know. It was
Yeah.
like creepy animation.
Yeah, I didn't
There was something about it that was
It
just
was
like
I was not
off.
allowed to watch it, but I was like, I'm good with not being allowed to watch that. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently it's got Wikipedia is fascinating. It's got a controversy and censorship page.
Damn.
Yeah. Billy West was the guy.
What controversies or censor? What did they censor?
The program staff did not want to create an educational series, a stance that bothered Nickelodeon, leading to the series being criticized by parent groups. Apparently, some segments of the show were altered to exclude references to religion, politics, alcohol, violence, and tobacco. The Powdered Toast Man episode had a cross removed from the Pope's hat. So, I don't know, shit like that, I guess. Seems pretty minimal.
It was wacky. It was like nothing you've ever seen before. He's right with that.
Yeah.
But people are also so easily offended back then. Right, Dave? You know, you think it's changed. Hasn't changed enough, though, unfortunately.
Well, we'll see in about
the
60 days, Clem.
The country, like, completely changed because Janet Jackson had her nipple out at a Super
It's
Bowl.
crazy,
Like,
man. It's so fucked.
Yeah.
This whole country's fucked. Whole world's fucked.
like Miley.
Eddie was like, sorry, Eddie, you cannot watch Ren and Stimpy. Here's Arthur. It's like that was like the alternative. Like, 'cause you couldn't get 2 more opposite picks, right, back to back for cartoons than Arthur to Ren and Stimpy, basically.
And I watched other shit, but I don't know. Ren and Stimpy was like the shockwave at Six Flags Great America. If people in Chicago know that reference. White Sox, Dave, you're up.
So this one popped into my head after Chief brought up the chicken pox. So it came out in movie. I'm going with the Power Rangers. 90s titan of TV shows for children. The movie came out, and I invited for my birthday the entire class. Only the boys, though. None of the girls were allowed. I think I was in first grade, and then I got chicken pox, and I had to cancel it, and it was like the worst day of my life because I couldn't go see that movie with all my male classmates in first grade or second grade, whatever year it was. I love that show. I loved it.
Yeah, it was great.
Power Rangers are cool.
I'm with you.
Good show.
Yeah.
And it would get me I had 4 sisters. We would all watch it together, and we would just fucking fight. We would be beating the shit out of each other. They're all mostly older than me.
Yeah.
So it was allowed. But we would be kicking each other and like throwing, like spinning on the ground, throwing kicks and jumping over them and everything, using weapons. It was awesome.
It was like a natural transition from going from Ninja Turtles to the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
It felt like you're watching evolution.
Right.
And Pink Ranger was hot too.
She was smoking.
Yeah, she was.
Smoking
Yeah.
hot.
And wasn't that like a urban legend too? Like she got paralyzed or something, or was that true?
Oh, I don't know.
No,
Maybe.
I don't know. I think I remember hearing that. It could be true. We should look that up. They always hung out in like that diner or whatever. It was kind of like a Saved by the Bell eat place. Not
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody needs a spot.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
kind of their like spot.
I definitely watched this less than Ninja Turtles, though. I feel like I was kind of aging out of these.
You
types of
probably
shows.
were, yeah.
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 It's funny. I was the same way, Chief. And not only was I aging out, I could tell that I was a little too old for it. And as a diehard Ninja Turtles guy, I said, fuck this show. I'm never watching that. That's the it was like, honestly, like I was a Hogan guy growing up, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
I hated Ultimate Warrior because I knew he was the next guy. So I refused to watch this on principle alone because of that. And it was cool though. Like my brother watched it, who's like 6 years younger than me. And like there was the white one and the green one, and they had like the flutes. They had some
Red one.
The villains I thought were kind of tough looking though. Like
Dr. Ooze in the movie was good.
I never saw. They had an ooze, so they were kind of just ripping off Ninja Turtles.
Dr. Ooze. Remember Dr. Ooze, Dave?
I don't remember Dr. Ooze. I don't really remember the villain specifically.
what was the chick? She would always be screeching, man. She was the pits. I hated her.
Trina?
Rita or something. I think her name was Rita.
Kimberly.
Trina.
Kimberly was
Kimberly
Pink
and
Ranger.
Trina.
I
Yeah,
thought.
Yeah,
Trina was
Kimberly
the
was-
Yellow Ranger.
Yeah.
No, Rita was the bad one.
Oh, maybe. 30 years ago.
And the action figures were fucking sick too.
Yeah, they were.
I
Halloween
do think Ninja Turtles take him in a fight though.
Probably.
Yeah.
5 out
Rita,
of 4.
I got it. It's crazy with the shit you have in your brain that you could just not use for anything else. Rita Repulsa was the fucking lady.
Shout out to
What a
Rita.
name.
Yeah, I get you there, Rico. I feel you there. Why can't you
Sugar
use
wipes the
that
floor
space
with her.
in your brain for something productive? You know,
Ivan Ooze.
99% of the shit my brain is just garbage.
Chief, you're up.
I'm taking Doug Funny. Doug.
Yeah.
I feel like this went back to back with Rugrats, if I remember
Probably.
correctly. Like there was Rugrats first, and
It's
then
those two.
Doug Funny
Yep.
second. Great show, memorable side characters: Skeeter and Patty Mayonnaise and Roger, Pork Chop. Roger.
What's
bully.
the noise that Skeeter makes?
Oh, I can't.
Hey,
do it.
Doug. And he goes like,
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah. So this was like a great Nickelodeon cartoon show. Happy to have it in the third round.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so glad to have.
I think this
glad
could
to
have been a
Doug.
first round pick.
Roger
I wouldn't
Klotz.
have even really argued
Yeah,
it.
Roger was an ugly,
Awesome
asshole,
villain.
asshole.
villain.
He wore that
leather jacket,
black jacket.
stupid ginger.
Who was the neighbor? What was the neighbor's name?
The neighbor,
I don't know. I know
Mr. Oh, Jesus.
Quail Man?
Mr. Pitt.
Quail Man,
Wait,
great
wait,
alter
that's his,
alter
like,
ego.
yeah, yeah.
Superhero,
He puts like a sock on his.
Captain Underpants.
Yeah, so I'm specifically
Bud Dink.
Bud
Bud
Dink.
Dink.
I don't know if I remember Bud.
Mr. Dink. Yeah, Mr. Dink.
Mr. Dink.
Mr. Did you watch this, Clem?
And then BB Bluff, her whole family was rich.
Yeah, I love Doug, man. Doug, it's another one that probably by the end of it I was too old for it, but it's one of those ones I bet if you go back, it probably holds up tremendously. I feel like it was just like a good like coming of age show. It was fucking Wonder Years for like the 90s and like in cartoon form. I thought it was. It was like I feel like he hit some like they tackled real issues as gently as you could. Like I feel like Doug was always going through some shit as just an ordinary white dude trying to grow up in fucking whatever school. Was he in middle school at that point?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think so.
elementary,
probably.
right?
Yeah, good show.
Yeah, the guy who was the voice for Doug was also the voice for Ren and Stimpy.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a good little career
Wow.
he had there.
Yeah, Billy West. He was on like the Stern Show and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, he did. I mean, he's done so many more voices too, but
Good theme song too.
No words.
all these shows just have phenomenal theme songs.
Yeah.
Have you done like a TV theme song draft? You have, right?
We definitely
We have, yeah. But that's where like listen, Doug was in my tier 1, but I'm kind of trying to show love to the ones that we didn't in the Nickelodeon
Right,
draft.
yeah.
So that's why I specifically left it out.
Well, I'm going to do that with my next pick.
Okay, let's
Because not for Nickelodeon shows, but I do feel like this show gets slept on a little bit. I really liked it. It was almost like the boy version of Full House. I'm taking Home Improvement. So Tim Allen was great. The three brothers, the neighbor who only showed half his face, Pam Anderson, and whatever the other Rocket was, who was like the sideshow
Yasmin
host.
Bleeth.
Yeah, Yasmin. Oh, is that who it was?
No, maybe it wasn't her. It wasn't Yasmin.
It was like
Bleeth.
another Baywatch girl.
We might have a veto here.
Why is this a veto?
I mean,
Rocket.
we're talking childhood shows. We're talking Pam Anderson.
it's the same basic setup as Full House.
I
But
didn't
it's
get
three
into-
boys instead of three girls. But you had the neighbor who helped. You had the parents. You had you could say Pam Anderson was a rocket, which she was, but so was Aunt Becky. And if I'm being honest here, I'm more of an Aunt Becky kind of guy. So always did more for
But
me
even while that opinion may be yours and it's subjective, Pam Anderson's a fucking she's a sex icon.
yeah,
Aunt Becky wasn't meant to be a sex icon.
I beg to differ.
I mean, she could have
born
been.
that way.
I don't know that she was, or I don't think she was. But like,
Yeah, you're right, Dave.
No, I mean Pam Anderson had a sex tape, but like that wasn't her.
Was stolen. It was a private video that was stolen.
Yeah.
She did not have a sex tape.
Well, I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
Chief, can I hear? Can you give me a Tim the Toolman Taylor growl grunt right now?
That's what I just did.
Yeah.
I can't do
No, the
it.
other one.
I didn't watch this much.
I do that to my.
no, it was a
sometimes.
great show. It was part of the rotation after school. Home Improvement, The Simpsons, but like, I don't think of it as a. I would have never thought of it as a childhood.
When did you watch it?
Why not? I mean, that was just a product of when like.
I
me being
think
a
it's
kid
a
in the
childhood
90s.
show. They fucking had it on Tuesday nights. That was a week I remember where they were doing every episode in 3D, and we raced my mom out to the fucking mall to go get the glasses. And by the time we got back Friday, we watched like 20 minutes of the last show in the fucking 3D glasses. But we got the 3D glass. Like, we missed all of Friday night. She's like, if you want to go to the mall, you're gonna miss the show. But you can get the glasses at like Wendy's. I was like, all right, like whatever, we'll just do it. And you got to watch nothing, but yeah, they geared it towards kids, dude. They geared it towards kids. I think it's it was on during our childhood, 90s shows. It's a childhood show.
If
Okay.
Full House is a child is a kid
Yes.
show.
All right,
If
if
Wonder
that's-
Years
yeah.
is a kid show.
I
this
just
is
think mine
definitely-
and Dave's brains were in a different place for this draft. So.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I didn't get into Saved by the Bell, even though I had sisters or Wonder Years. But if this is the same, I would have put those as childhood shows without having watched them. I just assume they are.
This definitely is too. It's in the same. This to me.
If it is,
the same
then-
show as Full House.
There's a big one out there that hasn't been drafted that is very much vetoable if it gets drafted. I would say this is not in that realm. I don't even know if this one will get drafted. I'm not going to draft it. I don't want to get vetoed again.
Okay. White Sox Dave, you're up again.
Hey Arnold.
Yeah.
I was a little too old for this one.
So I was too, and I still stuck with it for a minute because I liked it that much. I was
Water's
like,
getting
when did this show come out? When did Hey Arnold come out?
I don't know. I remember my younger
I was probably
sister
10-ish.
watching it.
And I stuck with it. Like once I got to 10, I probably was out on kids like type of cartoons.
Came out in 96.
96, so I was 8. But I probably still watched it until I was like 10, 11, 12 years old. Especially I have a younger brother, and he kind of took that torch, I guess. But
Harold rocks.
it's awesome. It's awesome. It was
Another
awesome.
show that just tremendous character. Stoop Kid, Eugene,
Football head, what?
Football- the kid-
Holga, or
Gerald,
Helga.
yeah.
Helga.
Like,
Helga.
I didn't want to say it to tip picks, but Helga versus Angelica
That's,
would have
yeah.
been I'll just tip this pick. I'm sorry, guys. Would have been a celebrity death match.
That's
dream match.
That's an adult show.
All right.
So that's
yeah.
not-
I don't,
they should do that.
that would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
Those are like the two iconic
Oh yeah,
kids bitches.
Yeah.
total cunt. And she was in the end. It was
Great show.
She was just projecting because she was in love with him.
Yeah, I was looking at that heavy.
Who was like the Nelson Muntz kid? Obviously, that's the bully kid, the ugly, stereotypical bully. What was his name? Harold. That was Harold.
Yep.
And then his bedroom. We've talked about his bedroom. How his bedroom's
sick.
like the all-time coolest bedroom ever.
His grandpa.
You never knew what happened to his parents.
Yeah. Hey, short man.
And that was his real name, right? Arnold Shortman.
Arnold Shortman's his last name.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Shortman's
was like the
last
double
name.
entendre.
Yeah.
When did they find that out?
It's on Wikipedia. Like it's on.
Interesting.
Yeah. Harold's great.
That's
Great
was it
show.
based in New York City?
Yeah, I think.
Or like loosely based on it? Was that an accurate representation of growing up in New York City? Rico?
We didn't grow up in the city. We grew up in the burbs.
Come on, bro. We're talking about the island.
Nah, that's considered New York City, though.
It's one of the boroughs.
Yeah, but I mean, he grew up playing street ball
Brooklyn.
in the street,
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
All right, Clem, you're up again.
It's just so much out there that I didn't think it was going to be out there by now. I'll just throw it on the board. Why not? TGIF. If Full House was like the leadoff man of TGIF, it was the Ricky Henderson. We'll throw Boy Meets World as, I don't know if it was McGuire or Canseco, but we'll choose your batch, brother. And I think once Steve Urkel got cooking, Family Matters was the other one of the batch brother there was fucking Jose Canseco at its best. Like the biggest fault I can have with Family Matters is Urkel became so big, he almost overshadowed the entire night, let alone his sitcom itself. So Family Matters, Carl Winslow, dating all the way back to fucking Die Hard where he's Al Powell.
Yeah.
And then he just had the most unbelievable run of playing a cop. He was in Ghostbusters as a cop. He was in Perfect Strangers as a cop. And then he got that role, Harriet Winslow, I believe, was in Perfect Strangers as well in Chicago. Then they just moved them to they moved the family to the burbs for a show and had themselves, Chief, you know it. It was appointment television.
Great show.
TGIF from 8 to 10 every single Friday. Your ass was in front of the TV on the couch watching this stuff.
Urkel got so big they made him cool. They made him Stefan for a few episodes.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great pick. I feel like you guys are too young for this.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Never watched it.
Watched it.
Everybody knows the cultural relevance of Steve Urkel, though.
Yeah.
Like
All-time
everybody.
dad.
Yeah.
Carl Winslow's an all-time dad.
Big time.
All-time dad.
He died, right, in real life? Like during COVID?
No.
I don't know.
Very much still alive. I looked this up somewhat recently.
He is
Hey,
very
Samuel L. Johnson.
hey, I'm thrilled to hear that.
Yeah.
There's something that's funny when you just think people are totally wrong about someone who dies.
I'm happy to be wrong.
I know.
Glad we got that rectified.
72 and
Yeah.
looks healthy.
Good.
All right, Family Matters. All right, I'm up. Listen, the people are kind of.
And you got to talk about his Die Hard appearance, too.
He
Greatest, like 1B, if you want to call it. I mean, the wingman
Hey.
who made it all possible. Took down all those terrorists by himself. No.
Hey, Dave, get the potatoes out of your ears.
Did you just say that?
He said it.
Oh, okay. My bad. I was looking up his age. My bad. That's on me.
If everyone's flirting with the line, I'm going to flirt with the line too. This is the show I watched the shit out of it, and it was Monday Night Raw. I'm flirting with the line.
Veto.
You don't know anything about it. The only real opinion
I think wrestling is for kids, man. Wrestling is for kids.
Eddie,
I'm okay with it.
I will veto, but I will give you it's not a like return your item for the refund. You can return it for another item. And that item will be WWF Superstars. You can take the one with the little Doink the Clowns and stuff. I ain't giving you fucking DX, Steve Austin, and all that kind of stuff.
I think trying to say that Home Improvement is playing with the line, and then
I didn't say specifically that.
you were saying that someone was trying to veto.
I was. You sold me on it, but I don't think of Home Improvement as the same category as Rugrats.
All right, so
Do you think of WWF?
No, I instantly vetoed it.
Okay.
I mean, did everyone watch it when they were kids in the 90s? Besides you
No.
two?
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, besides you two.
Don't
Like Rico said,
it's still going, right?
Yeah.
And isn't it like, does Brandon Walker watch it?
So just because that's a crazy comparison.
I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it.
Clem.
How can you say Monday Night Raw is a kid show, but The Simpsons isn't? That's what I'm trying to say. I'm going back to my veto 1-1 or 1-3.
I'll accept it. I'll accept your veto.
Okay.
I'm just said, if people are flirting with the line, I'm going to flirt with the line too.
But I don't think anyone really has flirted with the line.
There's another one out there that I'm telling you is if someone does it, I don't know how we could veto it, but I don't know how we could have it on the board too. I don't know if it gets.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
We'll find out, I guess.
All right. So honestly, I'm taking a show right here that literally defines the 90s. This is the one I was talking about. I almost took 2 overall. I'm happy I didn't because I read the room of the draft and pivoted off of it. It's fucking Barney, dude.
Yeah. That's, I think, perfectly acceptable for this draft.
Yes, dude. Barney. Fucking Barney.
It's, I think it's a great pick.
I've got long-standing beef with Barney.
What do you got against Barney?
So I think I was either 7 or 8. And my sister was either 4 or 5. My parents hired a Barney to come to her birthday party. And I was like, even at that age, I'm like, I'm too cool for this. Like, this is baby stuff. And this fucking dinosaur would not leave me alone. And I smacked it in the face and got like video games taken away for like 2 months. Like, I got in big trouble for assaulting Barney when I was like 7.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. But he had it coming. That guy, like, just, dude,
I
I'm
knew what
not,
he was doing.
the party's not for me. Like, I have to be here. It's my sister's party. I don't want to be here. I don't fucking like you. Leave me alone. He wouldn't leave me alone. He got a smack.
I think that's fair. But that was just
tell
a
that
Barney
to
and-
Marianne. Marianne was mortified.
Well, she raised a dog shit son.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, Barney.
I think it's a great pick, Ed.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
So
The cultural relevance of
Dude,
Barney.
you're going from Monday Night Raw to Barney.
it's a wild spin right there. My grandpa, I would watch it with him, and he didn't realize by the time I was like 10 or 11 or whatever that I had phased out of it. So he would look forward to watching the show with me on Sundays or whenever I'd visit him, and I didn't have the heart to tell him, like, Grandpa, I don't want to watch fucking Barney. And we would sit there and just watch Barney. And I'm like, please put on fucking Sports Center or something, or shoot me in the face. I'd rather that.
Why don't you just tell him? He probably would have been happy, dude.
I think he looked forward to watching Barney with me. With his
All right, you just
eldest
said Brandon
grandson.
Walker can't watch fucking Monday Night Raw. Your grandpa
But-
watched Barney.
Are you trying to say that because my grandpa was watching Barney, it's not a kid show?
It's acceptable for adults to watch whatever they want. That's it.
Sure, but wrestling, wrestling has pay-per-views. Kids aren't fucking paying for that.
I grew up in the 90s, Ed, and this is the thing. I was older than you during the 90s. I also remember the other side of Barney. He was such an icon. A whole lot of people hated the fuck out of Barney. You'd hear the I love you, you love me, and then all the other kids would saying, I hate you,
Yeah.
you hate me, I want to kill Barney, or whatever.
Yeah.
And I actually went back, I looked it up. I blogged this in 2022. There's a documentary coming out next month about Barney the dinosaur, the people that wanted to kill him, and the urban legends of what happened on set. And I just feel like he was a polarizing figure of the
Was he doing a little D word to people or something?
No. People just
nothing. I don't
Okay.
know about that. There was rumors of drugs
this
in his
guy's
tail,
just-
yelling at kids, practicing satanic rituals on set. That was the rumors going around.
Okay, so we got a potential Satanist here, and I ask a question that I think that's a fair question.
Do you want to be Barney and Baby Bop for Halloween next year, Dave? Me and you?
Are you Barney?
Yeah.
Okay,
Are you
I'm
Baby
in.
Bop?
Yeah, I'm in.
I don't think I know it, baby.
I don't remember Baby Bop either.
They had the sissiest kid, those kids that they would be like in the little area.
Oh,
like,
I remember Baby Bop.
It was such sissies.
Wait,
Oh.
was it like the Triceratops?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The girl tried to.
Yeah.
Baby Bop. You can be BJ if you want, Chief.
Yeah. Now I remember.
Yeah, Barney's Barney. They're also making a movie about like everything as well, besides the doc. Rico, you're up.
All right. I've touched on. This is the one I thought Clem was going to take because he said he never saw anything like it. I got a cartoon. I got a Saturday morning. I got a Friday night. I think Saturday night is where reinvented the wheel. Nickelodeon smacked on Saturday night. And Snick, I think, is what they called it.
Mm-hmm.
And there was nothing like, it was basically like SNL. I'll take all that.
Yeah. Fantastic show.
It's crazy musical guests that I didn't know any of them. Like, that was a little bit ahead of my time. Like, they were doing like Wyclef Jean and stuff like that, or Busta Rhymes. I didn't know any of those guys. But it was an all-time show. The skits, the different things, chocolate. I don't want to tip a pick, but something else came out of that. Like they had good stuff on all that.
Yeah, all that was good.
Bad guy, as it turns out, bad guy who financed the show or whatever was the showrunner. But good show.
Yeah, all that was awesome.
I mean,
Ear Boy.
Kenan Thompson's huge right now, and that was his start, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
Why do you say he's here? I mean, he's been on SNL for like.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
seasons,
Like
but-
SNL, it's still a big deal to be cast by SNL, and it started because he was cast on all that. You know,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna refrain.
it had a load of Amanda Bynes, obviously. She's got mashed potato brains now, but like for a while, she was like
She was
an
It girl.
A-lister. Yeah, she was an it girl.
Oh yeah,
Their cast
Jamie
too,
Lynn
like, if they
Spears
went
was
from
on it. I forgot about that. Britney Spears'
Going
sister.
from sketch to sketch, like they didn't really drop off. Like if they'd always
No.
had like 3 to 4 just solid members, no matter who was in it. They casted awesome on it. I just remember that.
Lori
Great,
Beth
another
Dunbar,
great
baby.
theme song too.
yeah. It's
all that.
You're up again, Rico. Fifth round.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take a game show as well to kind of round it out. This one is deep in the board, but you guys kind of wiped me out for a lot. I'm going to take, if anyone remembers, this might be dating myself. You guys, Clem would probably remember. You remember Wild and Crazy Kids?
What Wild and Crazy Kids? Yeah, show ruled.
Yeah.
Yeah, show is crazy. I don't even know what they were doing, but they were just always out on these sites. They had Omar Gooding. Was it Omar Gooding?
I think you're right.
I believe so.
Omar Gooding just doing shit. I remember seeing someone was wearing a shirt when we went to Hershey Park that was like the Wild and Crazy. I was like, they were on the show. That's so unbelievable. So I'll take Wild and Crazy Kids. It was not like very deep in the board, but it was a good game. It wasn't even really a game show. It was just like they were out like, I don't know, you had to like wrangle chickens in one episode. Like it was fucking nuts.
I'm looking here at the Wikipedia. There was three-legged soccer where you had kids tied in a three-legged race and you play soccer like that. Splash football where Rodney P would throw footballs to kids jumping off the diving board into a pool, which is like still to this day the most fun I've ever had as a child was doing that as a kid. Bumper boat lacrosse, playing lacrosse in bumper boats. Donkey basketball, which I don't know if you guys ever had that in school where like the teachers would play people to like raise money. That was always a blast. Simon Says, red light, green light with pies. This sounds awesome and needs to be like remade in the modern day.
Yeah, it was a fun show. I really enjoyed that show.
They did a dizzy bat home run race or something like that. Yeah, it was crazy.
Like incredibly basic, but it worked. It was like first form of reality TV almost.
Yeah, I think I got a good board.
Right? All right, it's back to me. This is tough, man. There's so many shows left. I'm between a few, but I'm really keeping this like kid, and I'm gonna go Blue's Clues. Yeah, I'm gonna take Blue's Clues.
Eddie went G-rate after trying to mix in Raw there for a second. His last 3 picks are Arthur, Barney, and Blue's Clues.
Blue's Clues, which I'm surprised he watched any of them.
I was 6. It came out when I was 6.
Your peak age for that.
Yeah, exactly. Mail time, like when you're sick home from school, like Steve was there.
Yep. This was like a big one for my brother when he was like 3, and I still remember some of the. There's the mail that never
fails and makes you wanna wag your tail.
Mail. Yeah, show sucked.
The best was we used to figure out whatever the clue or what they were doing like instantly, and my sister would like try to play along and like get all the 3 clues, and we didn't need the 3 clues, and we would just taunt her and be like,
Yeah.
they're gonna make a cake. They're gonna make a cake. Like it's like,
Yeah, what do you?
That was the
idiot?
best part about it.
Yeah.
It's because my brother, I never watch it. I watch it because my brother watched it. I wouldn't look for it, but I would just taunt him with that, and you could always find the clues better or quicker than your younger siblings, so dumbasses, and it was always awesome. It was like a little power trip you'd have. It was great.
Yeah. So yeah, sorry,
I think that you are more within the spirit of the draft.
Thank you. Clem, you're up again.
There's probably some other ones that I could choose that were bigger hits or might even resonate more in terms of the shows that like there's one that I'm shocked Rico didn't take. A few of you didn't take, to be honest with you. But I'm going with myself, staying true to myself, like Chiefy would say. And I think this show, if you watched it, you fucking were obsessed with it. And then the fact they brought it back last year and didn't miss a beat. And it's the X-Men. X-Men on Fox. I was a diehard X-Men guy growing up with the comic books. And then when that came on and this cartoon was awesome, another great theme song. I definitely think it plays as a kid show because I mean that's basically most of the people who watched it. This new one that came out this year when they rebooted it is very much not a kid show. They deal with some fucked up like issues that I would not have my kids watch, but the one in the 90s was a kid show and it was fucking awesome. I've never seen like a better like translation of a comic book to a TV show than that back in the day. I don't know if anyone else here watched it though.
I wasn't an X-Men guy, so this whole like genre passed me.
I dabbled a little bit in it slightly just because I had an older cousin who really liked it, so I thought it was cool in turn. But I did like some of the action figures at one point, but can't say like I was super into the show though. But I respect it. I liked the little that I saw. I did like it. Anyone else on X-Men?
I was never a comic book X-Men guy, so I missed this one.
Yeah, same with me.
Dave, you're up.
I'm gonna go a little outside the box here. I'm going this one mostly because when you saw that TV wheeling to the classroom, you knew you were having an awesome day, and just watching a movie or TV or whatever. I'm going with Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Oh, good pick.
Huge for just you get to just chill for that class period, and it was like I like science shit, so I like watching him start shit on fire and throwing things fast and far and all these weird little gadgets he had. So I was into that stuff. But I'm drafting it mostly for that magical feeling of when the substitute teacher would roll in that TV, that big ass box TV and throw on Bill Nye and you knew you were having a nice chill class period for science that day.
That's not what I thought you were going to say. I was thinking something else.
There's a bunch of like actual like, animated classics that I could have gone with, but I wanted Bill Nye on my board. Even though he does have a little bit of he got a little bit of woke mind virus there in the last few years, Chief.
It's big Vax guy.
Yeah, big time.
All right, what do you guys got on Bill Nye?
I'm jealous that like he got that as his like wheel in the TV. Like we got boring ass videos, and I feel like these days it's even getting better. Like my kids, they don't wheel in the TV; they have TVs everywhere, and it's like YouTube, and it's like cool ass. But Sienna will show me some stuff that like they learned, and I'm like, I've just watched this YouTube video on my own for like 20 minutes to learn some time, and that's how they're learning different science facts or math or whatever. So I feel like Bill Nye probably started that revolution or really lit the fire under it.
I never really saw it. Can't say. All right, Chief, Mr. Relevant.
Great theme song. There's a bunch of animated ones that I have all kind of in the same tier, and this is just one of them. So, Mr. Irrelevant. I love the show DuckTales. Do you guys have DuckTales?
Oh yeah, it was on my
DuckTales. Woohoo!
Yeah, it was on my board. Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Yeah, so I thought DuckTales was great.
I love the movie.
I don't know if I ever saw the movie.
Raiders of the Lost Lamp or something like that.
Oh man, right up my alley too with Indiana Jones reference.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've seen that. But DuckTales is a great little animated show. Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Treasure of the Lost Lamp. You should.
Okay. Well, I probably never will, but I do like the little crossover there.
Yeah. Anything on DuckTales, guys?
No, I knew a great song. Didn't watch much of it, but great song. I remember there was one episode they convinced there's a bike goes on sale on Saturday, and they get paid on Friday, and they convince everyone that it's Saturday or some shit, and then it ends up screwing them for the bike. That's the only episode I remember.
Damn.
They convinced the whole town that it's a day later so that they could get paid their allowance on Saturday, but the sale ends on Friday. So then the bike shop also realizes it's Saturday, and they get screwed.
I think I saw every episode of DuckTales, but I couldn't tell you one thing that happened in the entire series.
I think I'm the same way.
You came home, that theme song hit, you were through the roof, and the two legacy things from that show was the theme song and the giant vault of gold.
Scrooge McDuck.
That was big. Early Twitter gifs. The Scrooge jumping in the money was always.
It was a big gambling Twitter gif.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was also, I remember, a game on a floppy disk back in the day. I don't know if you guys play that at all. I remember.
I don't
distinctly
remember
as-
that one.
I think there's a Nintendo game that people hold in very high regard. It might be the same kind of game, you know? I don't know if
I also remember when Family Guy did a little like a spoof of they had what was the main character in Family
Scrooge?
Guy? No, in Family Guy.
Peter?
Peter does like the high dive into the gold, and
Yeah.
he gets all fucked up, like as if what would happen if you dove into a big pile of metal. And it was a great little scene, little hat tip.
That's funny. All right, let's do honorable mentions. Rico, you want to go?
Clem, what
first?
was the one you said you forgot? Or you couldn't believe I left off?
I thought you were going to definitely take Salute Your Shorts.
I wrote it down. That was my next. It was up there.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome show.
Yeah, the kids on that were very unlikable, though. They were kind of pricks.
Zeke the plumber.
They were. Low key, they were some pricks on that.
Great
There were
show.
some pricks on that show.
Was on my board. Donkey lips. What else you got,
man.
Rico?
Keenan and Kel, and that was it.
Yep.
Yep, on my board too. Clem, what do you got on your honorable mentions?
I think these are probably in Chief's DuckTales range. Tiny Toons, Animaniacs. Animaniacs is that's another one of those shows.
Animaniacs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We put bologna
Gets a little
in
dirty
our
if you
slacks.
pay attention.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a great.
Our Real Monsters. I really love that
Oh
one.
fuck!
Yep.
I
That was
completely
a
forgot
really
about
good
Real
show.
Monsters. The guy with the hairy armpits that holds his eyeballs.
Oh, I
That
forgot
guy's
about
awesome.
that too.
Great show.
Awesome show. How did I forget about Real Monsters?
On my board.
Fuck.
Chippendale Rescue Rangers are the one. I couldn't tell you one thing that happened,
Yeah.
but it had a great theme song. And they did redo the movie. They did like a movie in like 21. It's kind of like a Roger Rabbit where it's like half live, half animated. Really, it's like a good movie like you can watch with your kids and you get some good entertainment out of it. Not as good as Ninja Turtles, which is incredible. Dinosaurs, Not the Mama.
Not the mama.
The Baby Gotta Love Me.
Yeah.
That was big in the Clem household growing up. Like the whole family would watch that one together.
Yep.
This one was kind of a reach for kid stuff. I didn't know how much I'd need. Inside Stuff, NBA Inside Stuff.
Oh,
I wanted to put that on the board. I
That
didn't
was
think
great.
That was acceptable.
And then this was the one I thought would be a real problem if it got drafted was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air because it's not kids, but it's not really I don't know. That was kind of no man's land for me.
Chief.
And then
sorry.
I just wanted to put these out there. These were too old. I think they were all 80s ones, but I would have taken them. Ghostbusters, Alf, and Pee-wee's Playhouse.
And Growing Pains I had in that category
Growing
too.
Pains,
So
good one,
that
too.
show ended in 1990. I think that's what I saw. So I was just like, I can't. do it.
DuckTales ended in 1990.
DuckTales did?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess I was watching reruns then.
Or X-Men did. One of the two did. I don't
Okay.
know. But whatever.
Alvin and the Chipmunks. Tales from the Crypt / Are You Afraid of the Dark as like the scary other shows.
I had goosebumps with that too.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. You
Yeah.
didn't pick up on it. Say cheese and die.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Pinky and the Brain.
The Pinky and the
Yep.
Brain.
Yeah, Pinky and the Brain.
And the Brain.
One
One is a genius, the other's insane.
Yeah, those are the only ones I got.
Dave, what do you got left?
Goosebumps. Pete and Pete was great. I loved that show. He would belch into that tube thing. The Magic School Bus obviously was pretty iconic for like same thing.
That's what I thought
in
you were
school.
taking when you said the reeled it in.
Rocco's Modern Life.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I almost took that there in the 5th round.
Great show.
Great show.
Rocco's Modern Life.
Rocco's Modern Life.
There you go, Ed.
All right, to me. I have Gargoyles. I don't know if you guys saw that. That was maybe after your time. Brotherly Love with the Lawrence brothers was good on Disney Channel. Zoom. I don't know if you guys remember Zoom. It was on PBS.
I saw that on, but I kept thinking they were talking about actual Zoom. Like, what?
The Busy Life of Richard Scarry. A very random show that used to always be on when you were sick as a kid. Franklin the Turtle.
I remember.
These are some deep cuts.
Yeah.
I thought Franklin the Turtle was part of Arthur. Wasn't it?
Hey, it's Franklin. Me and my brother and me. No,
Oh, that was a good one.
good one. Figured out.
Oh yeah,
Game
figured
show.
out.
Cat
Good one.
cat dog.
Cat Dog. That was like later, right? Because I looked at
Yeah.
that too, and that was like '99. I was surprised because I remember watching that too,
Yeah,
and I was like, man, I would have been like 10, 11 years old when I was watching Cat Dog.
and then Pokemon.
Okay.
Yeah, Ash Ketchum. All right, I'm going to read them off, and then we will vote who will be left off here. Rico, Saved by the Bell, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Boy Meets World, All That, Wild and Crazy Kids. Eddie, Are You Afraid of the Dark, Recess, Arthur, Barney, Blue's Clues. Clem, Double Dare, Full House, Ren and Stimpy, Family Matters, X-Men. White Sox Dave, Global Guts, Rugrats, Power Rangers, Hey Arnold, Bill Nye the Science Guy. Chief, The Wonder Years, Legends of the Hidden Temple, Doug, Home Improvement, DuckTales. Write in a blank text, do what you got to do. And Clem, lead us off.
Eddie.
Rico.
Eddie.
Chief.
Eddie.
Dave.
I had Clem.
I had Clem too. Damn. All right.
Snack boys, baby.
I'm off. All right, fun draft.
You just got a little childish. You did the right thing with like childhood, but it's, you know, Barney. I don't know, Barney and Blue's Clues. Like is very, very young.
Barney's almost not even kids.
It's
That's
like
like
babies.
infants.
Yeah. He took a baby show.
kids are babies.
Arthur's tough too. I didn't want to say AJ was kind of talking my ear off in the background. That's just a tough look on the graphic.
He popped on the screen too, Clem. I don't know if you want that on there.
Still an all-time.
That's fine. Eddie somehow only books these shows when AJ has a half day. I'm starting to think Eddie looks at my kid's calendar and be like, how can I get in Clem's kitchen here? Let me wait till the kids have a half day for parent-teacher conferences. You can sit here watching. It's incredible.
AJ's part of the show now. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Thanks for watching. That's it. Fun one. See you guys tomorrow.